that was 2 days ago. Taking delivery of the M2 2025 G87 Grigio Telesto. I thought I'd make a video just giving some thoughts and early opinions and impressions on this thing. Things that I probably would have wanted to hear myself as I was waiting for it to arrive and as I was thinking about buying it. But before I get started, right, this is just going to be, I don't know, 10-15 minutes of me waffling on. I'm not a car journalist. This is not structured. This may be completely incoherent in areas, but I'm just brain dumping here. And yeah, so because it's all my opinions, I'll give you just a very quick back history as to where I'm coming from, because that sculpts your opinions, right? So obviously I'm in my 40s. I've had a massive eclectic variety of cars over my time. I've always been a bit of a petrol head. I've just jumped out of a Q7 Black Edition, which I had for a couple of years to trade in for this. Before that I had a F-Gen M4 convertible competition back. I had that for 4 years. It's a mouthful. And then, you know, dating back, I've had like Z4Ms, I've had regular 4 Series, 3 Series, I've had, you know, Renault 5 GT Turbos, XR3Is, Corrados, Mark II MR2s, I've had Toyota Prius, I've had like all kinds of cars. So I've got a pretty good basis for comparison. I've never owned sort of like high-end luxury sports cars. The most luxurious one I've had was the M4 convertible. But yeah, I guess that takes me on to what my concerns were when I was buying this. That might resonate with maybe yours if you're thinking of buying one, or if you've got one in order. One of by far my biggest concern was stepping into the 2 Series platform, knowing that it's just one step up from the 1 Series, right? Is it too cheap? Is it going to be too cheap and tacky inside compared to what I'm used to? Again, just coming out of a Q7, which is like well, for its age, it was, you know, it was pretty luxurious. Having owned the M4, and I'd also just been loaned the M5 for the afternoon by the BMW dealership as I was waiting for this to arrive. Jesus Mary, Mother of God. So I'd spent the afternoon in the 150 grand M5, which then jumping into this, right? But either way, the concerns, you're right to have those concerns. It is noticeably cheap inside the M2. It's based off of the 2 Series platform. I knew that, I expected that, and it's just a case of managing those expectations and just living with it. There's nothing to do about it, right? You've bought the cheaper of the M car range, right? And it just comes with the territory. It's just a case of whether or not you can live with that based off of what you're used to. And I've heard stories of people trading in sort of, you know, the G generation M4s, the G80 M4s, trading those in to jump into an M2, and I'm like, are you sure? I mean, like, I've sat in the new M4. I haven't test drove one yet, but I've sat in them, and they're very nice inside. It's a different league to this. Are you sure you want to do that? As a daily driver, you're trading in a lot of comforts and luxuries, but sure, it's again down to the individual. But you notice the cheapness in here. It's very minimalistic. The plastics are, I mean, they're not the worst plastics I've ever had, but it's plastic everywhere. And a good example of this is, I was fitting my dash cam yesterday, routing the cable through the center console, which is just one big molded sheet of plastic. It's just slammed down into the middle. There's no like leather stitching, nothing like that. It's just, okay, it's 2 Series. Got the cable into the back, and there's no USB ports in the back of the car. I was like, oh, that's it, right? So there you go. I expected this sort of thing, so I'm fine with that. But that's where you start trading in things that you might otherwise have been used to. So as a car though, right, taking it out, driving it out and about, it drives absolutely wonderfully. Like, it's so raw. It's, again, just jumping out of that M5, which was like a big cruiser, right? People whinging about the weight of the M5. I just don't know what they're talking about. It's a big wide car, but you don't feel the weight of it. The weight of it is, who cares? That thing does things to your ears when it accelerates. So this is obviously not as fast as an M5. Obviously it's 480 brake horsepower as opposed to 727, but this feels much more raw. You feel much more in tune with the road. You feel all the bumps, so it's a much obviously it's a much more bumpier ride, but it feels more direct. It feels more nimble than the M5. And there's more theatre to this, as much as that seems insane, given that it's an M5. But there's more noise. noise to this. The M5 is it's not silent by any stretch, but it's more like, I don't know, there's no like deep grumble of an exhaust to it. The fake piped in sound is a lot more aggressive in the M5, but the burbles and the kickbacks from the exhaust are much more noticeable and prominent in this than they are in the M5. So it's pretty nice to drive. No complaints there. I've only had it for 2 days, so I've got, I think I've only got 50 miles or something on the clock. So I can't say too much about it yet, but so far I'm pretty happy with it. The car itself, the colour. Now, I've did a lot of research on this and read a lot of comments from people mocking anyone that would pay premium for grey paint. Well, all I can say to that is, actually I can't say reserve judgment until you see one, because you may never see one, and videos and photos is all you've got to go off. However, the videos and photos that you see online do not do this colour justice. When I was picking the car from the dealership, I was actually showing the sales guy my phone screen as I was taking the video, and I was like, look at how different this looks on the screen to what's in front of us. I put a short video up a couple of days ago showing how different this car changes in various lights. One day in bright sunlight it looks like Brooklyn grey. It dims later in the day, it almost looks like Drava. It's like deep sort of full-bodied grey. In direct sunlight it can look like a pastel sort of beige. It's weird. It's a Lamborghini colour, which in of itself, I mean, if that's not worth a premium, I don't know what it is, right? I mean, you want to take the piss out of BMW individual paints. I mean, what about is it Thunder Night Purple? No, it's Twilight Purple, I think, is the individual one, and then you pay a premium for that when there's a regular purple going on the 2 Series. There's a standard colour, right? So what BMW charge premium for has got nothing to do with how common a paint is across the general car market, right? It's about what the paint is, where it's come from, and what it means. And this is a Lamborghini colour that, now that I've seen it, I'd have paid double. I'm not gonna lie, I'd have paid double for this paint. It is stunning, absolutely beautiful. So if you've ordered a Grigio, you will not regret it once you see it. But there's nothing anyone can do if you've never seen the paint in person. There's nothing anyone can do to sort of show you what that is going to be like until you see it for yourself. And it is something else. It's oh my god, it's gorgeous. So yeah, I'm over the moon with the colour. I don't regret that for a second. Was a bit skeptical myself when I placed the order, but now absolutely zero regrets. It's the best colour that I've ever seen on a car by a country mile. So I'm happy with that. A couple of other grumbles that I've got with the car. The fuel tank's really small. I did hear about that, but now that I've got it, it's very noticeable. With a full tank, 220 miles range, which is it's fine for me. I'm a very short distance driver. I do about 4,000 miles a year at most, so it doesn't really bother me. But it's a very small fuel tank, so if I was ever to go on a long distance drive, you'd have to plan in some fuel stops to go any kind of a distance. So I'm not too fussed about that. I'm not all that chuffed with the stance of the car. I've already ordered some wheel spacers. I've got those coming in a couple of days, and I had 12mm spacers all round on my M4, and this absolutely needs them. The wheel arch gap and stuff. I'm not going to lower it. I'm not risking a warranty void by lowering it. So I'm quite happy to leave the original springs, and I'm not too fussed about the arch gap. But the way the wheels sit in the arch is the 2 inset, so I want to fix that with some wheel spacers. Which you may argue that'll void your warranty as well, but I had spacers on my M4 for the full 4 years in and out of BMW for a long time. It's a long story, but it was in BMW for a long time and they never said a word about it. There are a couple of things which is just already starting to bug me. Now, one of them is the speed. It's an EU regulation apparently, even though we're not in the EU anymore. But whenever you exceed the speed limit by even 1 or 2 miles an hour, the dash bongs at you 3 times, which is severely annoying. So you've got to put it in sport mode, I think. So you've got to hit a button every time you start driving the car to disable this friggin' bong. That happens, which is rather annoying. The general in-car entertainment is pretty good. The iDrive 8.5 is pretty good. It's in the 2 Series. It's a bit scarce on functionality, but again, that comes with the 2 Series. I am really disappointed with the Harman Kardon system. The Harman Kardon in the F-Gen M4 was out of this world. It was phenomenal. I've never heard a sound system like it. This, obviously I can't play it, it's not going to translate right through the phone mic, but doesn't, it feels really cheap. The sound it's actually pretty bad. But I've read up on it. Apparently you need to give the speakers time to bed in, which I'm not gonna lie, there needs to be a lot of bedding in to get them from where they are now to where I was used to. But that was like one of the big things that I felt like when I was going out looking for a car, like top of the list, Harman Kardon, I've got to have that again, because the speakers in my Audi were absolutely dreadful. So it's got an amp somewhere, I don't know where it is, but there's an amp and a sub in here somewhere. But it's more in the mids and the highs. There's something like really hollow about them, and I've played around with the EQ. I just can't get them right. But yeah, ambient lighting inside the car is a bit average as well. Again, that comes with a 2 Series platform. But do you know what it is? I'm not complaining. These are just little minor grumbles, just first thoughts and impressions. Overall, I absolutely adore what I've bought so far. Within the first day, already got the first sort of salute of respect from another BMW driver out on the roads. And I just thought, yeah, this was the right choice. Personally, I'm a little bit annoyed that BMW have already done an LCI on the G87, given it's only been a year. Normally, it's like a 2-year life cycle between LCIs. It's minor, I must admit it's minor, but if you'd paid for a G87 back in January, thinking, well, you know, so this has only been out like 5 months, and within a few months you're already paying for the old version, right, the old model, I'd be really annoyed at that. So I'm a bit like, I'm hoping they're not going to be releasing another LCI in a year's time. I'd be pretty annoyed with that. You know, people who buy new cars, let's be clear about it, right? It's a first world problem, but this is how it is. People who buy new cars buy a new car because they want the latest and the greatest. That's why you do it. Else why not just get a 6-month-old one or a year-old car? You want the latest one. When that feeling is now only lasting for a year at max, that's, in my opinion, is not really great. And it would put me off buying future BMWs if I felt like I'll be driving the old car in a year's time, but still paying brand new car money for like 4 years. So yeah, I'm a bit upset with that. I'm hoping that's not the new norm, but the changes are minor. You've got the flat bottom steering wheel, you've got the badge in, tiny bit extra brake horsepower, updated iDrive by all accounts, and the specs have slightly changed. The carbon roof's now an optional extra, which I've got here. So yeah, I've got the regular blue stitched interior, carbon roof, black gloss wheels, Grigio Telesto, and I don't think there's much else you can spec in it. Apart from the carbon bucket seats, I don't think there's anything that I don't have in here. Possibly the active cruise control maybe, but I don't cruise around, so I'm not too fussed with that. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's just my initial thoughts on the M2. Things that I was thinking about before I was buying it, and now that I've got it, there's no regrets whatsoever. There's nothing that I've been thinking, oh shit. There's lots of horror stories out there, lots of clickbaity YouTube videos with like, this is the biggest failure with the M2, blah 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 blah, this needs fixed, and I'm selling my M2 already. So, well, you know, sure, it's a great little car, but just expect the interior, expect the luxuries to be minimal. It's got as much as you would need in most cases, right? It's got heated seats, it's got aircon, it's got sat-nav. The sat-nav's pretty good. It's got augmented reality sat-nav. You've got all kinds of, you know, the M-Track modes, G-meters and all that kind of stuff. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. But beyond that, just the little trinkets that you would tend to get in a more modern car, more upmarket car, you're not going to get in this. So just because it's an M car doesn't mean it's going to come with those things that you get in the higher range of BMWs, like 4 Series, 5 Series and beyond. So anyway, that's all I've got for now. Any questions, just let us know in the comments. If anyone actually does watch this, I don't know. I'm just going to chuck it up and just leave it there. Thanks a lot. See you later.